For our math lesson today, we are going to be reviewing our Topic 3 material that we have been learning the past couple of weeks. This Friday, we will be taking our Topic 3 math assessment. So today and for the next couple of days, we are going to be reviewing. So for today's lesson, you will need your Envisions Volume 1 workbook, and we are starting on page 147. So that's going to be down here in the bottom right corner. I'll circle it for you. Page 147. Now we are going to be breaking up our reteaching into 2 days because it's 4 workbook pages and it's a lot of material to cover. And I also want to break it up into 2 days in case anybody has any questions for me, that we have time to work on those before we move on to something else. So as we said, we are starting on page 147 and we are going to be reviewing parts of topic 3 today. All right, so let's get started. Now, if we look at where it says set A, it has an example of how to solve for number 1. So let's look at our example first. It says you can use a number line to add. Start counting at one addend. Count on the number of the other addend. So just for a review, an addend is the number that makes up our equation. So 10 and 8 are our 2 addends. Now if we're counting with a number line, we are going to start counting at one addend. So 10 comes first, so we are going to begin counting on our number line at the number 10. Then it tells us to count on the number of the other addend. Well, we're adding 8. So we are beginning our number line at 10, and then we are going to jump 8 places. So as we jump, we are jumping by 1 until we have jumped 8 places, which lands us on the number 18. Then we use our information that we found in our number line and write it into an equation. So 10 plus 8 is equal to 18. And we got this using our number line by beginning at 10, our first addend, and counting on 8 places, which was our second addend. Once we went from 10 and jumped 8 places, it brought us to 18. Now let's look at this problem on number 1. On number 1, it says use a number line. Count on to find the sum. And the sum is just our total number we are looking for. So we are going to do how they did in our example. We are going to do that on number 1 together. So on number 1, I'll start us off. So it tells us we're going to start counting at one addend. So which number are we going to begin counting at? 7 or 6? We are going to begin at number 7. So I'm going to go to 7 on my number line. I like to make a little dot. And now I have to count on. How many am I going to count on from 7? 6. So now, and make sure you're doing this on your paper, we are going to jump 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, my jumps are a little messy, but that's okay. We still started at 7 and jumped 6 places, and that brought us to 13. So 7 plus 6 is equal to 13. So we got this using our number line by starting at 7 and counting on 6, and it brought us to 13, and we got those numbers from our equation at the top. Now let's look at set B. Set B says an open number line can help you add. The equation it gives us is 7 plus 5 equals blank. It tells us to start with the first addend when working with an open number line. It says you can count on by ones to add 5 more. So on our open number line, it began with the first addend, 7, and then we counted on by ones to get to 5. So we started at 7, jumped 5 places, and that brought us to 12. Now let's see how we can solve number 2. On number 2, it says use an open number line to solve the problem. Show your work. It gives us the equation 4 plus 9 equals blank and an open number line. Now, when using an open number line, there's a few different ways that you could set it up. So I think what I will do for number 2 is Mrs. Collier will set you up and then I'll let you decide how you want to finish it. So when using an open number line, it tells us to start with the first addend. So which of these is our first number we are going to begin with? 4. So we are going to begin our open number line on 4. So I'm going to make a tick mark here and I'm going to write the number 4. Make sure you're doing this in your workbook. So if I am jumping from 4 and I need to add 9 jumps, well, I really don't want to have to go 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. I know that there's another way that I can jump with my open number line. Now, we've seen before where you can add by 1, so you would draw 9 marks and count. But we've also seen before when we can break a number into 2 other numbers to add. So, one way that we could do this, we could say 4, and if I was going to break the number 9 into, let's say 5 and 4. So we could make the number 9 out of a lot of different numbers. I think I'm going to use the numbers 5 and 4 to make 9. So if I'm using the numbers 5 and 4 to make the number 9, I could say I jump 5 spaces, and I know that 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. So if I have to make 9, I have to jump 4 more spots. Now I'm going to jump 4 more, plus 4, and I know that 9 plus 4 is equal to 13. So all I did was still start at 4. I added 9, but I broke it into 2 numbers, 5 and 4. So I started at 4, jumped 5, got to 9, jumped 4 more, and I got to 13. So for number 2, I have 2 options. You can show how to use an open number line using 5 and 4, or if you want to use 2 other numbers to add together 9, show me that too. Now we are going to complete page 148 of our reteaching activity. We are going to begin with set C. It says a doubles plus fact is a doubles fact and 1 or 2 more. So we see here in set C, we have 8 plus 7 equals question mark. Then we can see our cubes are representing a doubles fact. 7 plus 7 equals 14. So there are 7 blue cubes on each side. Well, we know that 14 and 1 more, so 1 more red cube, is 15. So a doubles plus fact is just a doubles fact, or one with 1 or 2 more. So if 7 plus 7 is 14, 14 and 1 more is 15. So that means that 8 plus 7 will be equal to 15. When you look at set C, numbers 3 through 6, it tells us to add the doubles. Then use the doubles fact to help you solve the doubles plus fact. So what you will do for numbers 3 through 6, first solve the doubles fact. 5 plus 5, 8 plus 8, 6 plus 6, 5 plus 5. First solve the doubles fact, then look at the doubles plus fact. It tells us again that a doubles plus fact is 1 or 2 more. So for example, if you were to add together 5 plus 5, we know that 5 plus 5 is 10. So if I am adding 6 plus 5, well, 6 is just 1 more, so I add 1 more to 10 and write my answer in the blank. So again, for numbers 3 through 6, solve the doubles fact, then use that to help you solve the doubles plus fact. Now would be a good time to pause the video to continue working on these problems. When you press play, we will begin talking about our problem in set D. In set D, it says you can make 10 to add. We see 8 plus 6 equals blank. 8 plus 6 equals a question mark. We see that we have a tens frame on the side. We know that the top is 5, so we can count on 6, 7, 8. So our yellow counters represent the 8. Now we need to show the 6. We will use red counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, if we make 10, then we know that our tens frame is 10, and then we can count on 11, 12, 13, 14. So in order to solve and make 10, we used our tens frame to make 10, added 4 more, and that gave us 14. So that is the same as saying 8 yellow counters plus 6 red counters is also equal to 14. We made 10 to help us add easier. So now, if you were to do the same for number 7, it tells you to make 10 to add. Draw counters in the 10 frame to help you. If we are adding together 7 plus 8, in our tens frame, we have 5, 6, 7. So now you need to draw in 8 in and outside of the 10 frame. Then you will count your 10 plus how many are left, and then write your answer in the box below. So just like we did in our example, we made 10, counted the extras, and wrote our total. After you complete answering the question on page 148, you will be done with the reteaching for today. We will do the other 2 workbook pages tomorrow for math. If you have any questions while going through the reteaching today, please let me know.